What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin Jackwitz here with the Caged Review, and we are going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw for March 19th, 2018. And this show, you're getting pretty close to WrestleMania, so not quite the go-home show yet, but certainly you're in that last few weeks where you need that big build-up. You're trying to get a lot of people invested for WrestleMania, and man, these are the shows that you really have to have a really good storyline set up. So they're starting to tie all the loose ends together. They're starting to get the final matches put in place. They're trying to get some stakes for some of the matches that they have going. We start off the show with Kurt Angle. He comes in, reminds everybody that Roman Reigns is still mock suspended, and he kind of shifts directly into Braun Strowman winning the tag team tournament match last week. And then here comes Roman Reigns through the crowd, walks up to the ring. Kurt Angle is like, "What are you doing? You're suspended. You know, management has made a contingency for this." Roman Reigns says he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to wait in the ring until Brock Lesnar shows up. So what happens is Kurt Angle, he kind of plays like he's frustrated, walks out of the ring, and then out come three cops. And one of them puts Roman in cuffs. Roman doesn't struggle. He lets the guy put him in cuffs. And he says he's going to walk out on his own volition, and then the guy, starts escorting him by the arm. Roman says, "Don't touch me," blah, blah, blah. Turns on the guards and starts whooping all of them while handcuffed. After that, Brock Lesnar's music hits, and Lesnar storms the ring. Roman's in handcuffs. Of course, Brock is going to completely decimate Roman Reigns, which he does. A lot of chair shots, a lot of suplexes. They cut to break, and they're putting Roman on a stretcher. At this point, Brock Lesnar is gone. After the break, they're wheeling Roman out of the ring. Brock Lesnar's music hits. He comes running back down, tips the gurney over that they got Roman Reigns on, and kind of drags it back toward the ramp a little bit, and then walks off again. So that's the whole build-up for, the Reigns-Lesnar fight, which honestly, I still don't find myself that invested in, to be very honest. I think it's almost a no-brainer at this point who's going to win. I don't know that a lot of people like that outcome already. Like, we kind of already get the gist that, okay, Reigns is going to take the belt. And a lot of people, I think, and myself included, are like, but does he really deserve it over a lot of other people? Probably not. So, yeah, the fans are, I think, not too thrilled from what I've seen as a whole. Certainly he has his fan base. And, honestly, I think in the last however many weeks, Roman Reigns has definitely showed me that he can be a top guy. He's good in the ring. He holds decent matches. I really like the fact that he's getting better on his promo work, because we all know that that's where he started floundering. He really was terrible on a mic, but he is getting better. So that's what that is. Next, you have Alexa Bliss and Mickie James come down to the ring. Alexa Bliss cuts a promo saying how she's going to break Asuka's streak, and the bigger part of the promo is where she starts this very sincere, heartfelt apology about the way she was caught talking about Nia Jax at the end of the show last week. And then, of course, she goes into her heel shtick, and she's like, "Just kidding, I don't apologize, blah, blah, blah," and starts trashing Nia Jax again. Then that leads to the match between Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Really good match. There were actually a couple of small missed points here. There was a couple things that happened that were just slightly miscued, but enough to where you could tell, like, Asuka was going for her rear end move, and Asuka, I don't know if it was Alexa Bliss or Asuka that was slightly out of position. I actually think it was Bliss, and it just looked so fake. Like, you could tell Bliss was falling out of her own. But other than that, really good match. Really, really good match, though. Both women put on a great performance, I think. And of course, Asuka's going to win, except this was a count-out win. Alexa Bliss was getting her ass beat toward the end of the match. She grabs her belt, and Mickie James escorts her toward the ramp. And this is when Nia Jax comes running down the ramp. Running is briskly walking down the ramp. And she just bowls over Mickie James, catches Alexa Bliss a couple of times. Alexa Bliss escapes. And then finally she was going to jump the barricade into the crowd. Nia Jax gets a hold of her. Mickie James gets up from behind, hits Nia Jax. Nia Jax throws Mickie into the ring pretty hard. And then, of course, Alexa Bliss gets away. So after that, you come back after another break where Alexa's talking to Kurt, and she's like, "Did you see all that?" And Kurt's like, "Yeah, and I'm sure everybody saw that and how you talked about Nia Jax. You're a representation of the company and you're a bully. So I'm going to give Nia Jax a match against you at WrestleMania for the title." And I have been very vocal about my disdain for Nia Jax's in-ring work. This is another scenario where you put one of your top WWE stars in harm's way because Nia Jax is a dangerous worker. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. And doesn't really bode well for me. I don't like it at all. So, but it is what it is. She's an attraction. And, you know, I give her credit for showing the emotion and having some decent, I don't even want to say promo bits, I'd say acting bits. Nia Jax has done pretty well with those. So, you know, there's definitely give and take in all situations. But I do worry about anybody that's in the ring with her anytime I watch a match. I do. I'm sorry, that's just, it's uncomfortable for me to watch sometimes, to be very honest. Because I'm just waiting for somebody to get hurt. And I just feel like it's only a matter of time. After that segment, though, you have Braun Strowman comes out and he makes the announcement that it's official that he needs to find a partner for the Bar at WrestleMania. So Braun Strowman has to find a partner for his WrestleMania match with the Bar. That'll be interesting to see who he picks. It leaves a little bit of storyline for them yet to fill out there. Still a little bit of a blank canvas in some ways, so that's kind of cool. I really like Braun Strowman. I think he's over as fuck right now. I think that he's one of these rare, really big guys that just is able to connect and has a personality and can actually have a decent match. You put all those things together, and even though I'm not a big fan of the big guys, he's an attraction. So I think it's very smart booking that they're building something around him specifically, and you know, I mean, after everything else that they've already planned for WrestleMania, what was left? Well, Tag Team Championship. So I think it was a good move. I think it was a solid move on their part for WWE. I like how they went about it. So that leads into the Bar come down, and they're like, "We beat every tag team. You're only one guy, and as good as you are, you're still not a team." And so Strowman says, "Well, I got news for you. I'm going to find a partner, and I was told that I get to face one of you right now." So that turns into a match with Strowman versus Cesaro, and they actually jump right into it. And of course, it's Strowman completely dominating at the beginning. I mean, let's face it, the guy's a mountain with legs. Um, and Cesaro's an amazing athlete. He really is. Like, the guy is conditioned like nobody I've seen, and he's stronger than just about anybody there. Pound for pound, that guy is truly probably the strongest guy in the company. It's freakish what he can do. So, come back to break, and you're having the whole David and Goliath scenario. Cesaro trying to chop down the big man, doing some pretty good work in there. At the end, of course, Braun Strowman's going to catch him, power slam, win. It was a decent match. You know, it had its cool points for sure. And Cesaro, like I said, he's such a really good talent. So he had some really, really cool moments in the match. I like his little springboard uppercut, like corkscrew uppercut that he does. Really cool. So yeah, honestly, so far the show it's been pretty solid, I think. Then you come up to Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And so Sasha Banks comes out, followed by Bayley, or actually that's backwards, Bayley, and then followed by Sasha. And they're in the ring and they start doing a promo about Sasha Banks, you know, doing what she had to do at Elimination Chamber because it's every girl for herself. But Bayley has turned her back on Sasha twice in a row in 2 weeks. Sasha's trying to be the bigger person and forgive Bayley. Extends her hand. Bayley starts to walk and then comes back and starts saying how all she can remember is Sasha Banks smiling when she kicked Bayley down off the pod, and that's been stuck in her head. And then Paige interrupts him and says, you know what, you guys need to deal with your own issues later because we have a match. And the whole match, pretty good match with a storyline, which was of course Sasha Banks and Bayley not being a cohesive unit. They're at each other's throats. There's a lot of tension there. Moments where like Sasha's reaching out for a tag and Bayley's not even reaching out at all, and then Bayley will tag by slapping Sasha Banks on the back, and likewise with Sasha Banks. And at the end it cost them because they were having an argument, Bayley and Sasha, and I forget which girl from Absolution, but gets the pin on Sasha. So it was like, it's building towards something, but what is it building towards? And I would have to think Bayley versus Sasha at WrestleMania. I think that's a very solid match. I think that'd be a great match. God knows they pulled it off in NXT and did amazing things. So again, I would definitely not be sad to see that. I think that would be a really good match on paper anyway. And as I've seen in the past, those two can really tear the house down. So that was that segment. The match was good. The story that they were telling, it was decent for sure. And then I'm hoping it leads to them having a match at WrestleMania. Oh wait, no, I take that back. I forgot the Women's Rumble. They may not have a solid match at WrestleMania. It may come to the Women's Rumble match. That may be what it comes down to. So after that, John Cena does a promo regarding his challenge to The Undertaker. And of course, The Undertaker hasn't even responded. Not a yes, not a no, nothing. John Cena repeatedly calls him a coward, trying to bait him into the match. John Cena, he's always been really good on the mic. He's always done good promo work. But as I've said lately, that I've never been, hard on John Cena like some people have. I've always thought a little bit more highly than some of the guys do. But the truth is that his shtick is old, it's stale, and he comes out and he does the same type of promo all the time now, and it's not the greatest. Now, last week when he went into the crowd and he first made the challenge to The Undertaker, I thought it was actually a better promo. And it's funny because some people thought that it should have been more serious, one of them being Edge. He made a comment about, if you're challenging The Undertaker, you should be a little bit more serious about it, maybe not so campy. I liked the part when he went into the crowd and, it was a little bit different with what he was doing. This week, to me, it was just the same old John Cena that we've known for the last 10, 12 years. So, what can you say? After that, you get a Miz promo. Typical Miz, I'm going to win the triple threat. The odds are stacked against me. And then he gets interrupted by Gallows and Anderson's music hits. And come to find out, it's actually supposed to be a 6-man tag with Gallows and Anderson plus Finn Balor versus The Miz, Axel, and Dallas. This honestly was probably the lull of the night for me. Not that it was necessarily bad, but it wasn't good as a standout, for sure. You had Seth on commentary, so you knew something was going to happen there. But Finn Balor, Gallows, and Anderson walk away with a win. And after that, the Miz Taraj with the Miz jump all three of them. They take care of Gallows and Anderson on the outside, and then it's a 3-on-1 with Finn Balor in the ring. Seth Rollins comes, saves Finn Balor, and does a curb stomp on the Miz in the middle of the ring. Finn Balor gets up, realizes what Seth has done. Seth is like, you owe me one. And that's kind of where that is left off. Kind of a cool segment at the end, building up the triple threat. I don't know if there's anything spectacular, but they've had decent build-ups for this in previous weeks. So I guess this was a nice filler for, that storyline. And you finish off with the Ultimate Deletion match with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. And I have to say, after seeing the original Ultimate Deletion, I don't know. It was cool. It was still very Hardy, campy, had an entertainment value to it. And Bray Wyatt does give it something. I will say that. I think the two definitely kind of add to each other in ways. A really interesting match. There was a part where Bray Wyatt started getting the upper hand after Matt Hardy's initial barrage, and I forget what Matt Hardy said. Next thing you know, there's a bunch of fireworks that go off, distracts Bray Wyatt, and then of course Matt Hardy's back on him. Really, really, really cool. There was this shed thing that was made to look like the Wyatt compound rebuilt, and had some interesting moments there. And the match kind of finished up by the lakeside. Bray Wyatt was going to go for Sister Abigail, and then this little drone comes swooping by his head, and Bray Wyatt grabs it, and then he's like, I'll deal with you later, turns back. Matt Hardy's gone, and there's a boat flipped upside down that wasn't before, and it's got Matt Hardy's lawn guy in there, and he throws this little globe, and they start singing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, and Bray's just kind of entranced, and then Matt Hardy comes up and hits him with Side Effect, and pins him. And then Bray Wyatt's like, it's not over yet. And then Hardy's like, yeah, it is. Takes his stick and pushes him into the lake. And Hardy asks the servant to go find him, and he's like, he's gone. And then he's like, Matt Hardy's like, it's finally over, and Bray Wyatt's been deleted. And that's where the show cuts out. You know, as far as the Ultimate Deletion match itself, it was kind of cool in ways. I mean, it was really meant to be a love note for the original broken Matt Hardy character, I think, which is what fans have been wanting. I don't know that it was executed completely to what I would have liked to have seen, but they were creative with it. It was something different. So I applaud that for sure. And it, you know, it was kind of cool. They definitely had some cool spots for it. So it was good. It wasn't great for me, but it was good. So I mean, overall the show was above average. You know, like I said, going into WrestleMania season, I think they were doing everything that they needed to do, building up the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. And one of the things about the Roman Reigns build up here is, you know, Vince McMahon and WWE, they've been trying so hard to push Roman Reigns as the likable guy. Not just a face, he's already a face, we get that. He's already the good guy. But they're pushing people to like Roman Reigns. And they are failing miserably. And nothing was more evident in that than they're hauling Roman Reigns out on a stretcher. Lesnar comes out, throws him off, beats him up again, and the whole time the crowd's saying, "You deserve it." So Reigns is just not going to be liked anytime soon. McMahon can forget that wish, because clearly that's not going to happen. But like I said, overall a decent show. Maybe not as strong as a couple of the other shows that I've given like 8 out of 10s to. So I'll probably give it like a 7 out of 10, I think, is where I'm going to go with this show. It was entertaining. It kept me attentive most of the time. So that's a win within itself. So that's where I'm at. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys thought about this show in the comments. Let me know what you think, especially about the Ultimate Deletion, how it compares to the last one that we saw in TNA. Yeah, I liked it, but I felt like it was kind of missing something. But just one man's opinion. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the review, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwitz. Cage Nation out.